Hello, mom friends. So, this week I wanted to keep it a little bit light. Kind of tired of focusing on some of the heavier stuff, and I thought, what a wonderful topic to tell you about my weekend middle life mom escape to Palm Springs. It's all about girls' weekends, vacation tips, getting a little wild, and getting relief. So, this weekend I took a mom vacay to celebrate my gal pal's birthday. And man, did we go bold. It's always a little bit of a wild ride with this friend, as we are double trouble. We are ebony and ivory. But isn't that beauty in itself, having a friend who you can live closely with, go on wild rides, and then go back to your regular lives? So being able to let loose once in a while and not feel that mom guilt, not feel like we should be doing something more productive is amazing. Not worrying about the state of things at home for once. Just getting out of there and enjoying life like we're young, wild, and free. If you want permission to just let loose, this episode is for you. Women get to a point in life where we just don't care. We've been through the BS. We're burnt out and done playing by the rules. Midlife is our time. We're fearless, confident, and ready to blow it all up for more. We are female and dangerous. I'm Jamesyn, your host and certified coach at theboldlife.coach. Let's do the work. Taking vacation is super crucial for me. Taking kid-free vacation, just me vacation, is even more crucial. It's hard to do. I love being with my child. I always want to take him to really enjoy this period of my life where he is still, a child and we can make these core memories. But having said that, we all need some time away. Ideally, I would have a week-long break every quarter just to relax, recharge, and feel like I am a human being rather than a human doing. I wouldn't do it all the time, as a mom, solo trip, or a gal pal trip, but at least maybe once or twice a year. So last week I did just that. I took off a full week from work. Just happened that I got an extra Friday as a recharge day. Then I used Memorial Day as a bonus. So that meant 6 work days off plus 4 weekend days off, 10 days off. This feels like a lifetime. So my goal was to recharge and generally have a staycation on this trip, to just get some work done around the house since I recently bought a home. I moved into it, and I do consider it a bit of a fixer-upper. So I just feel like there are little things that I need to do everywhere, and I haven't been able to get to them. So I was hoping to be kind of productive and, I don't know, the main character in my own life. But unfortunately, I found that taking time off wasn't as an immediate break as I thought it was going to be. It just wasn't in the cards. So instead of just turning off the work lights and immediately digging into relaxation like I wanted, I found myself in a bit of a pile of mush, that pile of mush being me. I was in a state of irritation or discontent, just sort of bothered and unsettled. It took me about the first 5 days, and I was just kind of in this mood. And that sucked because that was not what I was going for on my vacation. I ended up binging some shows, and now looking back, I'm not sure what I actually did that was productive other than I do recall driving my son around a lot too, all of his multiple trampoline, jumpy place trips that he goes on with his friends. So being a mom driver is a definite, but not what I had in mind. So overall, super unmotivated, unproductive, but even knowing that, I wanted to revel in whatever it was that I needed to relax and rejuvenate during this time. So I just tried to roll with it. I wanted to release myself from that guilt of doing nothing and reminded myself over and over, hey, it's your vacation. Do what you want, even if you do nothing, even if you're a pile of mush. I mean, the audacity to expect to do whatever I want on my vacation, right? So many of us are used to feeling like we have to use our free time to get caught up on doing what we think we should be doing, that we barely even let ourselves enjoy our own designated, literally designated free time. This just goes to show how hard it can be, not just to physically step away from work, but mentally. It's almost more difficult to mentally give ourselves a break. So, first vacation tip for the day: allow yourself to be a mush pot if that is all you feel up to doing on your vacation. When I was young, I used to go on super adventurous vacations. I'm talking like wheeling my suitcase through Chinese subways. One time I even went to a hostel, which I don't recommend. I've never been really the hostel type of chick. But my point is that I rough and toughed it. I camped and hiked it. I got sweaty, went all over the place. And that was great. I had the energy to do that. These days, I need actual recharging time on my vacations. So this vacation, total mush pot for the first week. Then finally, on the 7th day, it took me literally 7 days to relax. I actually woke up, I did a couple home tasks, I whitewashed the fireplace, which actually turned out pretty well. Then I got ready and quickly drove to Palm Springs for a planned getaway with my bestie. So it was her birthday weekend, and we had plans to go to a comedy show. This comedian was Becky Robinson. Love saying the word comedian, right? Her show is The Entitled Housewife, and it did not disappoint. If you aren't familiar with this comedian, she's actually this 32-year-old woman who does this Saturday Night Live-like character. It's a skit. And the character is an older mother, a housewife, a golfer lady, or at least she's always out on the golf course in her little golfy outfits. She wears the whole golfer skirt, crew top, sun visor, and these signature Oakley-like sunglasses. It's pretty hilarious as a shtick. So she's drinking White Claws, and she's this whole parody of this sort of like white Karen type of entitled housewife. It was funny. It was awesome to just go and just laugh. But what really made an impression at her show, though, was this cult-like following that this woman had. There were literally hundreds of women of all ages. I mean, mostly 30s to 40s, I would say, in attendance, but many of whom were dressed in the same shtick type of costume. Like they were cosplaying this woman. They had full-on bobbed wigs, visors, the sunglasses. It was over the top. Like, what is it about this character that so many women identified with? That's what I really wanted to know. It was fascinating. Is it that we can so readily identify with all of this little quirky shit that she does in her family life? You know, she's got like pets, she's got kids, she's got Scott, her, irky husband. She drinks at lunch. And so, at the end of the day, she's like, oh, I just want to rest for 5 minutes. I want to lie here on my love sock. Right. And she talks about all this just really basic, funny shit that she does with her family and pets. And is it that we too want to replace our work meetings and stressful days with double margaritas at lunch after the golf course? Hell yeah. Is it that she's so unapologetically opinionated and kind of dippy and basks in the glow of like this silly life that she lives? Yeah. I mean, it's like no stress for her. She's having too much fun just out there being bold, wild, and free. She's dramatic, she's a little raw, but she's also like your basic mother-in-law, right? She's got big opinions. She just does what the hell she wants to do. So it is a beautiful thing. And it is clear that I'm not the only woman that enjoys this. There is a huge cult of adult women who apparently need the same sort of lighthearted bullshit in their lives to just escape, go on a laugh about just really funny, regular stuff, but we laugh sort of at ourselves and alongside other women, other mothers of a certain age. And it's fun. I guess we need that comic relief to our own lives. So the energy at this show, it was just out of control. If you are, looking for a really fun gals thing to do, I highly recommend watching it. It's called The Entitled Housewife, and the comedian's name is Becky Robinson. So if you want to devolve into a little harmless girls' fun for a night, take a girls' trip, bring 5 to 10 women, eat bar food at a casino beforehand. Or just you maybe go with another gal pal like I did. And what we did was we took a whole bunch of pictures with other girl groups that we just happened to have met at the bar at the restaurant, which is really funny because looking back the next day, we were like, who are all of our friends? And it looked like we were there with huge groups of gals. But the reality was that there were just so many sort of open-hearted women looking to have a great time. And so we had a great time. So vacation tip for you, do something slightly out of character. Go a little wild, like seeing a comedian show. And bonus if you wear a costume. So on this trip, we stayed at the JW Marriott, which also happened to be hosting a produce conference. What is a produce conference, you might ask? Well, like every industry, people who grow and buy and sell, market fruits and vegetables, they've got to have an industry show. And so these guys, they came to party. From the minute we showed up, there were like hundreds of produce, mostly guys, but some women too. And they were all at the central bar at the hotel. So being single myself, this was a good opportunity to find ourselves some farmers. I mean, who doesn't love a sexy farmer? Especially those that are this sort of mixture of, I don't know, California, progressive, cool, and then that traditional Midwestern or, Montana style rancher. I mean, it's beautiful, right? For all of you Yellowstone fans, or the other show that I've been watching recently is called Ransom Canyon. Love that show. Just buzz through the whole season. But did you ever notice that it seems to be so easy to meet potential love interests on vacation? Like for me, I'm suddenly magnetic and surrounded by all these wonderful possibilities of nice and charming males on vacation. But at home, it's like zero. I'm nothing. I got nothing. I see nothing. I find nothing. I talk to nothing. But of course, I'm not meeting men sitting on my sofa at home. That's clear. But I have tried to figure out, what is it exactly about being in that vacation energy that sort of makes the romantic magic happen? I spent some time thinking about this. And first, I think it's just being open and relaxed, right? When you're there to have fun, you're carefree, you're on vacation, you're not home, so you aren't really expecting anything serious to happen. You're just relaxing and you're having fun. And the part of it is an energetic shift in itself. Many men and women are going out at home specifically to find someone to date, to find someone to fall in love with. But when you leave that forever type of energy behind and you just take the night where it goes, you're just like, let's go on a journey. Let's go have fun tonight. The energetic options just open up. The universe knows. You don't care as much. You're not planning on seeing, Bill and Ted from the bar again. So you're lighthearted, you're opened up, you're relaxed, and it's just fun. So you meet all of these produce guys and, compare vacation notes and just chat them up about sumo oranges. Done. Not trying to date you again, not trying to see you later, but you do never know where it might lead. I, on the other hand, did not end up finding the love of my life. In fact, none of those guys was the sumo orange farmer. And if you know anything about sumo oranges, they are rare. They are hard to make. They only come up in I think it's like winter to springtime every year. So I wait for them every year. But I did not find one sumo farmer. And if I had, who knows, it might have been a soul match. But I did have a very good time, just a social time with the produce bunch. And that brings me to my next vacation tip. Go out and just be social. Be lighthearted, especially if you spend a lot of time at home like I usually do. Even us introverts have to get out. Next vacation tip. Never mind the know-it-alls at the blackjack table. Just enjoy playing your way. I've never really been a blackjack player or a gambler. I do enjoy slots, but I mean, it's not hard, right? These are simple card games, and figuring it out is actually not that big of a lift. So you don't need to be scared. Just go to the tables, go have fun, bring a friend, and don't worry about the other kind of fools around acting like they know everything. Figuring out when to hit and when to stay is a gamble in itself. But what I did notice was that plenty of players, they always have something to say about me hitting on 16, right? Like it's this thing. You have to be a boring player and you have to play it safe. And I don't want to. I don't subscribe to that. There are always at least two people trying to make sure that you play the game right and that you play it in such a way that's going to protect their interests. And that right way is usually very formulaic and boring and not for me. So I made it my mission to take the bold approach and let everybody know that I was out to play my way. I'm an active player. When the opportunity presents itself, I am not sitting on a 16 when there are so many card opportunities to get me between there and 21. No way. So forget it. Leave me alone. I just continued to beat this drum all night, hitting on every 16. It was my mantra. No one could stop me. I always hit on a 16 was what I let them know. And despite not winning all of the time, I did win some and I made my point. And that is that you have to do what feels right for you. What's going to make it fun for you? Who cares? If I'm sitting at a table playing blackjack, I'm not there to play by some dumbass formula. I'm there to have some fun. So vacation tip, just have some fun doing something that makes you feel good. Don't worry about being perfect and do it your own way. Now you're probably thinking, gosh, does this lady just go out and party at the tables in the bar? Like that is not very relaxing. After a couple days, no. Drinking cocktails, socializing can definitely be exhausting for me. I do tend to slant more introverted. And like Vegas, you can only go about 2 to 3 days in Palm Springs before it's definitely time to go back home to the cocoon. You don't want to get lost there, end up with some, 75-year-old boyfriend and never leave that villa again. It could be pretty easy. So my gal pal and I, we had a very relaxing spa day. And I'm not a fan of resort spas because pricing of treatments can easily be 3 times what it costs to get a simple massage at home. I mean, I don't know. I have been a long time Massage Envy member, and I'll forget to go, so I'll end up accruing like 8 sessions. And then, when you go and spend those, it's like you're spending money on a credit card. It doesn't feel like you're spending anything. You're like, oh, this is free, right? Well, so when I do think that the spa is worth it is when you want to enjoy the other amenities that they have there, especially with a friend or a family member. So like if you want to go to the sauna, the hot tub, private pool, steam room, check, 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 and check. They had all of that stuff and it was great. So super wonderful, relaxing, recharging experience. And heading to the spa for a few days after a big night out, if you've had a few cocktails, you're dehydrated, you're tired, your sleep wasn't that great, It can be the difference between feeling kind of like a lazy ass on your holiday, doing nothing in your room, and being totally busy and productive, even though your productivity is only your day at the spa. In both scenarios, you're doing nothing, but because you specifically went out to the spa to do so, to recharge, to feel, great, spending some time with the loved one, it feels absolutely great. So, vacation pro tip, do schedule some downtime to truly relax. Now, we were having so much fun that when Saturday rolled around, we were supposed to go home. We were like, oh, home? No way. We are just getting into this trip. So we actually made arrangements for our kids and pets to take one more day to ourselves. Let dad watch the kids and take care of the pets. What's one more day with auntie and grandma? Well, mommy spends time at the spa, hotel, and casino with her friend. Since we rarely get time to spend with friends, especially lifelong friends like this one is, it's a bummer to have planned too short of a time together. So when you're finally getting around to scheduling these trips to spend time with people that you love, to get that mommy break, to get that time away, don't shortchange yourself on time. You can always delegate your home responsibilities, especially if you only treat yourself to a break like this a couple times a year. Like, we need this as women. We need this as career women, and balancing work and family and time with yourself is a must. Finally, we come to Sunday night. I'm home. Where did my vacation go? You mean I have to go back to work tomorrow? I'm definitely not ready. But, it's not the work I don't want to go back to, but it's the me that I don't want to leave. Womp womp. I hope you enjoyed going on vacation with me on our gals trip, remembering that you deserve some time to yourself to rest, recharge, get a break, to escape. What is so bad about escaping anyway? If you want some help figuring out how to get your shine back, how to find yourself within all of this daily work, the life admin, the family responsibilities that make your life work on a day-to-day basis, let's put together a strategy. Let's find more meaning. Let's find more time away. Let's find more time for you to feel like you in your own life. Find me at www.theboldlife.coach. For more of The Bold Life, follow me for weekly podcasts. Have a great one.